Ruth Bader Ginsburg was a legal and political giant in the United States for both supporters and critics. Flags are at half-mast tonight at the U.S. Capitol, a testament to the deep mark the Supreme Court justice leaves on American society and culture. For the crowd gathered outside the Supreme Court, her death with a U.S. election just weeks away adds uncertainty to their grief. Well, for more on what her life and death means, we're joined by longtime CBC Washington correspondent Keith Boag, who is in Ottawa this evening, and Canadian criminal defense lawyer Marie Henein, who is in Toronto. RBG, as she was known by many, was a trailblazer for women and the law. So, Marie, let me start with you and your thoughts on that part of her legacy.
Well, she had a significant legacy, both as a lawyer. She argued numerous cases in the Supreme Court of the United States. She founded the ACLU women's rights section or division. And then as a judge, she was extremely, extremely powerful. Virginia, where she dealt with gender equality as a constitutional right, same-sex marriage and Hodges, and of course her dissents were equally powerful. The one probably we all know about is Bush and Gore. She was a legal titan. There's no question about that.
And so now there is, of course, a vacancy on the Supreme Court, and it may seem inappropriate to be talking a lot about this tonight, but it's a big part of the American story. Keith, how quickly can she be replaced?
Well, I think you can expect the president to nominate someone to replace her very soon. He came up with another list, as he did in the last campaign, of possible judicial nominees just about 10 days ago, and he'll select somebody from that, and it'll become a part of his campaign. I think that he probably sees an opportunity in this to remind people that he has reshaped the court in his first 4 years, and that voting for him again means that he can continue to do that. But I think what's really interesting tonight is Mitch McConnell, the majority leader in the Senate, saying that there will be a vote on the floor of the Senate. What that means, as far as I can see, is that he intends to have a vote no matter who wins the next election. He intends to have a vote even if it's in the lame duck session between the election and the swearing in of a new government. He intends to have a vote even if the election indicates that the Democrats will have a majority in the Senate. So you can take from that it's going to be an urgent priority, probably more so for Mitch McConnell than even Donald Trump.
I want to come back to that issue in a moment, but Marie, I want to ask you this first. If President Trump does choose her replacement, what does that mean for the Supreme Court and its impact on American society?
It would be a very, very substantial impact on American society. It would put the majority firmly in the Republican side of things, and the swing, we've seen some swing with Roberts, but her being replaced by a Republican nominee would be quite significant, and there is a real agenda there. And I just want to pick up on something. You may recall that when Obama was on his way out, he had nominated Merrick Garland to replace Scalia, and the Republicans were up in arms and absolutely refused to open the floor on the Senate to vote because they said it was an election year. So it'll be quite a stunning turn of events to take such a contradictory position now and to try to push this through.
We're going to hear a lot about that stunning turn of events if indeed it does come to pass. And Keith, many people expect that it will, in that the Republicans will go ahead and try to replace Ginsburg no matter what the timing is here. Tell us about the political impact of all of this, which I'm sure we'll begin hearing about tonight, certainly if not tonight, then tomorrow.
Well, obviously, I think Donald Trump would like this issue to play for him the way that the similar issue with Merrick Garland played in the 2016 election. But this is actually quite different. At that time, Senator Mitch McConnell was essentially taking the seat hostage and saying it will be filled by whoever wins the election. As I've explained, that's not the case this time. He intends to have a vote on the nominee regardless of the outcome of the election. So there's that thing to consider in terms of the presidential race. But this will now also have an impact on a number of important Senate races that will decide that majority. Take, for example, Republican Susan Collins in Maine. She's going to have to answer questions about whether she thinks it's appropriate for the Republicans to use the lame duck session to confirm a Supreme Court nominee. And she has to be very careful about how she answers that question because it could have an impact on whether she continues her career as a senator. She's trailing in the polls there. So this is going to happen in Maine for her, and it's going to happen in a handful of other states that are right on the edge that could go Democratic or Republican in the election. And now this is a big issue for those senators to have to discuss on the stump.
So deep is her impact on so many things, Marie, that we were just looking at pictures of people drawn to the U.S. Supreme Court tonight, I think, just to share experiences and mark her passing. What are you thinking about tonight?
Well, I think she was just an absolute icon for women, for young women. She crossed the bar into the consciousness of the public. She was quiet, as you know. She was an intellect. But she was pragmatic and also principled. She exhibited a strength that I think a lot of women were inspired by, and she is a very, very significant loss.
And Keith, less than 30 seconds, last thoughts?
I think the thing to watch for in the next few weeks of the election campaign is this question about what will the Democrats do if the Republicans go ahead, as they promised to do, and try to confirm a nominee in the lame duck session. If they should win the presidency and the Senate and hold on to the House, will they use the power they have in Washington to enlarge the Supreme Court? It's something they've been talking about ever since the Merrick Garland issue surfaced. It's certainly something that's going to come up very, very quickly.
Keith Boag, Marie Henein, really nice hearing your reflections and your analysis tonight. Thank you.